We already brought up Joe Biden's mental state. The truth is this, and I've explained this before, and I'm going to explain it again. You, an American, me, an American, you probably don't know what the voice of another world leader sounds like. You probably don't. You probably could hear Vladimir Putin's voice and wouldn't know that's Vladimir Putin. How many press conferences of Putin have you watched? And so because that's your state of affairs and my state of affairs, we don't fully grasp the rest of the world. They watch when the President of the United States of America speaks. When Joe Biden gives a big press conference, it's not just, fodder for you and me to laugh. Oh, he stumbled through his words. The world watches. The good people in the world watch. The evil people in the world watch. When Joe Biden gives press conferences, everyone watches. And they make gigantic, possibly world-changing decisions as they watch, based on what the president says, how the president looks. They're assessing it at all times. Joe Biden, because he's not a functional adult, is a national security risk. Before I play this, I want you to understand the whole Russia-Ukraine thing that's happening. That has the potential to be a hot war for a lot of countries. I'm not saying I think it's going to, and please, Lord, don't let it happen, but that has potential to be a world-changing event. It's something we have to watch, and it's not something we can afford if the president's going to say something like this.
I think what you're going to see is that Russia will be held accountable if it invades, and it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up having a fight about what to do and not do, et cetera. But if they actually do what they're capable of doing with the force amassed on the border, it is going to be a disaster for Russia.
I'm sorry? Did he just say, well, it's one thing if it's a minor incursion? I want you to understand that little comment right there, it's not a laugh-off comment. It has reverberations around the world. Around the world. Vladimir Putin watched. Ukraine's president watched. Ukraine had to put out a statement, quote, "We want to remind the great powers there are no minor incursions in small nations, just as there are no minor casualties and little grief from the loss of loved ones. I say this as the president of a great power." Around the world, they were shocked to hear Joe Biden say, look, it's one thing if it's just a minor incursion. And this is why it's a national security risk to have Joe Biden as president of the United States of America. We all know what happened there. Joe Biden had a sit down, probably with his Joint Chiefs, maybe CIA directors, so on and so forth. He had a sit down with his advisors, and they discussed, I'm sure, what are we going to do about Russia? And it was discussed. Okay, well, if there's a major invasion, we do this. If they just have a little invasion, we do that. Private, secret meetings about our strategy when it comes to foreign policy. Joe Biden gets asked about it at a press conference, and he doesn't have the mental strength to filter out critical national security info now. The President of the United States of America, his brain is in such bad shape, he's a national security risk because he'll reveal critical strategies to the entire planet on television. That is not a small deal. That's a big, big deal. That's a gigantic deal. Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.